Hannah Mitchelson! Woo!
Are you alright? So I recently moved to Manchester. I knew it. I knew it was coming. You can't say you're moving to Manchester from Leeds and you not get a boo. It's either that or do you use the tram? Everyone in Leeds bloody loves talking about the tram. You might get one, you never know. But so I moved to Manchester without a plan. I didn't have a job. I quit my job because I wanted to. And so I was applying for everything. I didn't even know what I was looking for really, because I don't really know what jobs are out there because I've been trying to be an actress most of my life, which obviously. So it was just eye-opening really, and there was one point I was like, oh my god, you can be a driving examiner. I can drive. And I think I'm pretty good at it. So I applied for that, and I did get an interview, because, all you have to do is apply, and then they go, oh, you've got a licence, that's nice. So I was booked in for an interview, and I was getting, I kept, telling people, I've applied to be a driving examiner. How cool is that? They were like, not instructor, examiner. Yeah, no, I will be determining if people are on the road. And then as it got closer to the interview, I thought, there's a couple of questions I don't want to answer. Because I looked up what the questions would be, and some of them were like, how would you deal with a difficult person, blah, blah. The others were obviously, have you ever crashed a car? A few. So I cancelled that one because, so basically, I got my first car when I passed my test when I was 26. And I got my first car a year after that because I managed to save up because of COVID. Remember that? And so I bought it off my stepmom. And 6 months later, I crashed into the back of someone. He was pretty cool about it. He was like, oh, I've got another car, don't you worry. I was like, it's all right for a summer, you ain't. Jesus. So that one ended up getting written off. One thing that I will never understand about cars is that the parts cost more than the sum of the car. And that isn't meant to be funny. I just don't get it. So if anybody wants to tell me, just let me know. Then after that, I got another car, didn't crash that one. But had to sell it because I moved to Leeds. I was in Hull. I moved to Leeds city centre. You got to pay for a parking spot. Oh, doing that. So then after a while, I moved away from Leeds city centre because it's very expensive on your own, and I moved in with my parents. It was lovely. Thank you very much. And my mother generously insured me on her car, a Mini. It's very nice to drive, doesn't it like to go? It has a sixth gear. I hadn't had a car that modern for ever. So, yeah, so I drove it maybe a few times a week because there were a lot of train strikes, whatever. And they went on holidays one week, and I swear I kept having this one vision all week. Because it's like when someone's away and you just have the impending doom. You're lucky if you don't have it because it's always there. And I just kept thinking, when I get, every time I parked it, I was like, oh God, it's just not going to be there. Someone's taken it, it's rolled away. Oh God. Anyway, the day that they were coming back from holiday, I can't remember where you'd been. Norfolk. They'll never forget that holiday just from what happened the day they got back. And so I was like, before they got back, I was like, oh, before Mum gets back and reclaims her car, I'm going to go on a trip to IKEA. Because we all have we don't all have a trip to IKEA, but I know someone in the audience who definitely does. And I was like, I'm just going to wander around. I might buy myself a plant, you know. And that I also had that of like, oh God, is the car going to roll away? Like, where's it going to, oh God, someone's going to take it. It's a nice car. This is why you buy shit cars, I say. Just no one wants it. And all was fine. I got home. I was like, oh, I've got a plant. They were home. I was like, yay, the cat. And then there was a knock on the door. And I heard, it wasn't quite, couldn't quite tell what he said, but I knew what he'd said. The neighbour was like, my mum was like, what was that? I was like, shit, I know what it is. I grabbed her keys. I had parked the car on the street and the handbrake hadn't been on. We live on a slight hill and it landed in Kath's garden. Oh, Kath just thought it was something on the TV. She's quite an elderly lady. But it did bust one of the tyres, and 3 of the neighbours and my stepdad had to help try and push it out of the garden. That was number 1 in my mum's car, but number 2 overall. 3rd time, it was about a month after the bumper had got fixed. Sometimes you just have to really test yourself. I am going to go as far out to say that this is the shop Savers' fault, okay? Because I went the day before to go to Savers in Leeds and it was closed. It's shut down. It's gone. I love a bargain. I love to go to Savers. It was shut down. So the day after, I was like, right, I'll drive to the Savers in Marley. And I went, and I parked in a spot I've never parked in that Morrison's car park, and it was right by, is it Nazarene Church in the middle? And as I got back in the car, I turned this way. Hello. Nothing there. Oh no, wrong. This way. I turned this way. And then I turned this way. And then I reversed into a car I'd missed in my view. I'd missed it. It hadn't quite got to this eye. By the time I turned over here, it had missed. So I reversed into that car. Obviously, I had a breakdown. Many people in the car park came to help me. I had no makeup on. I'd been to the gym, and I look about 12 anyway, even though I'm like 30. So it was very nice. People were very kind. But I have got a car now. I'm sorry. I didn't drive here today. You got to pick and choose your moments. But I think, actually, I've realised what it is, and I shouldn't have chickened out the driving examiner job, because if I could have just specified that the only cars I have crashed are blue, then they might not have made me get in one of those. And now I've got a red car, and she's perfectly fine. Anyway, that was me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Anna Mitchelson!